Google Gemini is one of the best AI chatbots and AI models available today, and you could do a lot more than just chat with it. In this one video, I want to show you every major Google Gemini feature, and I'll start with what's available for free. Then I'll show you my upgraded plan to show you some of the tools that only come with the paid upgrade. Okay, to access Google Gemini, you want to go to gemini.google.com. This is the website where you could use the Gemini chatbot. They also have a mobile app. And the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you sign in. They will use your Google account to sign you in. Now, if you don't sign in, you could still use this kind of in incognito mode here, but it will not have some of the things unlocked that the sign in version give you. They're both free. Once you sign in, you're still going to use the free version, but it will unlock some things. If I press this down arrow right here, you'll see sign in to explore the newest Gemini models. So if you're kind of new to AI, this chatbot right here that I'm using that is AI powered is called Gemini. Behind the scenes, it gets powered by a large language model also called Gemini, but they have different models to them. So right now, there is a Gemini model called 2.5 Flash, for example. This one is called 2.5 Pro. And they all do different things. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out. That's the reason why you want to sign in, and that might be the reason why you may want to upgrade later too. And I'll quickly show you this pricing page because right now I'm going to focus on this free tier, and you're going to see all kinds of different things that come with the free tier of Google Gemini. Once you do upgrade, they have something called Google AI Pro. This unlocks different things inside of Google Gemini, and we'll talk about some of these with my paid plan. And they do have this plan that is $250 a month called Google AI Ultra that unlocks even more things that are not going to be available in some of these other tiers. Okay, that brings me to the very first feature I want to show you, which is very similar inside of most AI chatbots. You'll get the same option inside of ChatGPT, where you have a prompt box down here where you could type in a prompt, and this could be a chat-based Q&A. It could be your writing assistant to help you write emails, but I'll just show you as an example, and we're gonna get far more in depth. I'm just showing you the very first basic option inside of Gemini. So I'm gonna ask for a history of Google Gemini. This is gonna go to work, and it's gonna show me Google Gemini started way back in the day. Google is one of the first companies that started working with these type of AI models. And they actually released this as something called Google Bard back in 2023, the first time I covered it. And now it got rebranded to Google Gemini. And you could do follow-up prompts. So just focus on top 3 things. Maybe I don't need to know all this information. This is going to go to work. So prompting I'm going to get to in a little bit, but this gives you a really easy starting point for any type of Q&A or to use it as a writing assistant. And then you could follow up with something like turn this into a 500-word blog post. This is going to write a blog post for you. Now, this is not a very good prompt. You really want to flush out your prompt and give it much more detail than this, but we'll get into prompting in a little bit. Right now, let's get into number 2. Okay, the second thing I want to show you is this plus sign right here. If you press the plus sign, you could actually upload files directly from your computer, like a PDF or Word doc or spreadsheet. And this allows you to do a whole lot more with these type of chatbots like Google Gemini. Okay, I'll use this PDF here. This has a cover, this has all kinds of different text. And then I'm gonna say summarize this in 1 sentence. So you could then interact with any type of document you have on your computer or your Google Drive, just like this, again, with the free account here inside of Google Gemini. And here is a quick response that I got. Now, the next one is image analysis. Now, they have something called vision mode. So with vision, an AI could look inside of an image, right? This has completely changed how different industries are using AI. So I'm going to press the plus sign again, and I'm going to upload a file. But this time, instead of a PDF, I'm going to use an image. This appears to be an informational graphic, possibly for a training program, day 6. Okay, yeah, it got everything exactly right. And these are just getting better and better. These vision models behind the scenes. I mean, the fact that they could even read text saves an incredible amount of time for a lot of different people. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is its image generation model. So right over here, they have something called Imagen. Again, it's a model that takes place in the background. But if you click this right here, now the image model is accessible. And I could ask it to create an image for me. So I'm going to ask for a picture of a dog running in the rain. Okay, and in a couple of seconds, this is the image I got. Let me go ahead and open it up for you. And it looks great. You could press the download option and download it in full resolution right on top. You could also ask it to create images that have text in it. So I just said, create a thumbnail with text, introduction to Google Gemini, introduction to Google Gemini, and it's gotten really, really good with spelling. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is connecting this to your Google Drive. So if you connect this to Drive right here, so if I select one document, I could insert that document here, and I could ask that document any question. So same way as uploading a PDF, but you don't have to download something from Drive, upload it, you just connect it right here. And again, they're owned by the same company, so really seamless integration. Now the next one is called Audio Overview, and you'll see this pop up when you upload something like this. And this is newer, but it is incredibly powerful. So let me click it and let it go to work. Now, Audio Overview is actually a podcast between two AI hosts, but it uses your source. One of my favorite all-time AI features. And it first came out inside of NotebookLM, which I covered in far more detail in a different video where I show you all the different things you could do inside of NotebookLM. But with this option, now you have it right inside of Google Gemini with the free option. So I'm gonna let this finish up. It usually takes 5-10 minutes depending on how many sources you give it. And I'll briefly play a little bit of it.
We want professional level video creation to feel, accessible, actually exciting, not overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. And the idea is to give you a clear roadmap from actually getting the software right through to exporting that first finished video.
Okay, I think you get the point here. You could actually go through this in multiple different speeds here, which is useful. And if you want to download it, you could actually download it or share the conversation directly from here. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you is right on top. So far, we've been using this model right here, which is just an all-around model inside of Google Gemini. Now, if you watch this later, they do release new models every few months, so this might be different. But since the very beginning, with all these AI tools, they typically have the less capable model for free, available to everyone. And then they have reasoning models and more advanced models that sometimes they introduce in free plans, but most of the times it will require an upgrade. So right now, as I'm recording this, the free model does have 2.5 Pro. This is Gemini 2.5 Pro. This is good for reasoning, math, and coding. So for example, let's say I had a riddle like this. It will make more sense if you are doing some kind of a thing that requires reasoning to turn that model on. You could see these models actually show thinking, and you could click it and you could see how they think in the background, and then it will give you the response this way. Okay, next on our list is deep research. So if you turn on deep research, this might be my favorite option inside of Google Gemini. They also have deep research in other apps like ChatGPT, but I usually use this inside of Google Gemini. Google's obviously been in search for 25 years or so, so they know what they're doing when it comes to search. Deep research will search sometimes hundreds of websites and give you exactly what you want in a nice condensed summary. Okay, so I'm gonna say plan a 10-day romantic trip to Hawaii. I wanna see all 4 islands. Now, the first thing it does is it shows you the plan. So these are the different steps it's going to take in order to get you what you're looking for. And you could go ahead and edit that plan. It will take you to the chat mode. Typically, I just press start research right here. Usually the plan is fine. And then it will go into this deep research mode. And it goes through, again, dozens, sometimes hundreds of different websites like this, reads the website, and it will create a document for us in a minute. So it took almost 10 minutes, but we got ourselves a 10-day plan right over here. And you will see different links if you want to actually dive into the source where you got this information from. And if you go to the very bottom, it created a table for us here. It pulled in pricing. And at the very bottom, it has all the different links. If you do want to go through more links and explore things on your own. This is also available on the left side for any type of follow-up chats. Okay, those are some of the main options inside of Google Gemini, but I still have a few more free ones I want to show you. And then the upgraded version of Gemini is going to unlock a whole lot more, and we'll cover all of that as well. And I have the perfect resource for you regardless of which Gemini plan you use. Even if you use the free one, this is going to be really useful for you. HubSpot gave me a free ebook called Google Gemini at Work. It goes deeper into some of the features I covered in this video. And more importantly, it gives you the exact prompts and workflows you can copy and start using right now. So for example, when doing deep research, one of my favorite options, the ebook walks you through the step-by-step process of using a highly detailed prompt. It also shares a great strategy for content creation that combines Gemini with NotebookLM, one of my all-time favorite AI tools. This guide also explains how to 5x your output without sacrificing quality and includes practical prompts you can use right now. You can download the full ebook for free using the link in the description. Big thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video and making this resource available to my audience. Okay, the next one is actually fact checking the answer. So if you're new to AI, sometimes these AI models will make stuff up and they will sound very confident, but we could actually do a double check using Google. So I'm gonna send this out to see how much it costs to incorporate a company in Illinois. Okay, so here's the response that I got, and it's nice. It created a table for me that I could directly export to Google Sheet. This is another feature that's really useful. A lot of times with these formats, because it's, again, the same company that owns Google Sheets, one-click export, really nice to use. But what I wanted to show you is if you press these three dots, you'll see a new option called double check the response. And this does a regular old Google search for you, right? So if you think the model might have made something up when you're using this for any type of search, do one of these things where it will go ahead and do a search for you, and then it will give you an answer. And then you could understand the results here, so it could show you exactly what it found and what it found problematic. Now, the next one I wanted to show you is inside of the share option every time you get an answer. So you could share the conversation, that's useful, but you could also export this directly as a Gmail draft. You could open Gmail right here, and it's already drafted an email for us and it's ready to send right now. Okay, the next one inside of the free option is right here, Canvas mode. So with Canvas mode, it will write in a whole different way. Okay, so I'm gonna ask it to create a study plan. This is just one of the options right here. And you could see Canvas mode will open up this whole new side of the platform, and it writes in a whole different format that's actually really, really good to edit, and it's good to copy and paste directly from here somewhere else. If you look on top, you see I have all kinds of new styling option, right? So if I select text, it's really easy for changing it this way. You could see I have bold, italic. I could go ahead and bullet point things on my own. I could do numbered list on my own, and I could share and export the same way as before, copy the content directly from here. And I got this drop down over here that lets me do a whole lot more inside of Canvas mode. So I could turn this into a web page, to an infographic, to a quiz. So let's try the infographic option. Okay, and now we're on preview mode, and this is what it created for us, this infographic. And I could go ahead and share this directly from here. I could press the share link, and I got myself a link I could copy. And it says this app was created by another person. I'm on a different account to show you what ends up happening when you send it to someone else. And they will see exactly that with any type of animation. Now, if you press this settings gear right here on the left side, there is this option that I want to show you called apps. So let's go to this page. And with Gemini, you could actually connect it to your favorite apps. So I already showed you the most useful. You could turn it on here too, and you could pull things directly from your Gmail, your Google Calendar, and your Google Drive, even Google Keep if you use that. So that is a fantastic app, but they have other apps. So all mine were turned on for travel, which helps me use this to plan travel, as I mentioned. So Google Flights, Google Hotel, Google Map, all available to you. You could turn any of these on and off here. I usually have them all on. YouTube can also be turned on. This one is actually one of my favorite because when you search for something inside of Gemini and you pull in a YouTube video, it will do a really good job pulling in the right information with this turned on. So I usually have this on as well, and they have this one for learning. Now I'm hoping they're gonna introduce more. It's been a while since they introduced new apps here, but this can make Gemini a whole lot more powerful. So I recommend you turn all these on inside of the settings here for apps. Now we're gonna upgrade to the paid one, but we have one more here, Explore Gems. So there are something called gems. This is your gem manager. And there are some right here that are just created inside of Google. These are made by Google already. So gems combine multiple different things, and we're gonna go ahead and create a new one here. I'll show you these in a second, but if we press new, this was only available to paid members, but now they have it inside of the free option too. So you would go ahead and name it, and you could give it a specific set of instruction. Makes it a lot more useful, right? So for example, for YouTube title generator, I'm gonna give it this kind of a system prompt or instructions. This is for the background, right? So you don't actually see this in the answer, but you are a YouTube title generator. Your job is to generate short, engaging, and click-worthy YouTube titles. And then I'm going to give a very specific instructions, 60 characters, natural, avoid using punctuations. And then on top of that, I could upload any type of document to use as a knowledge base. So if you ever used custom GPTs or ChatGPT projects or Claude projects, they are a version of these models that has a very specific set of instructions and a very specific set of knowledge base. Rather than that huge chatbot that knows everything, this will only exercise the things that you give it in the instructions here. And these are easy to write with Gemini. You could just tell it what you want and ask for these type of instructions for your gem, and it will format it for you this way. You could always click this option right here. And if you write something simple, it will go ahead and write it in a way, in a format that Gemini Gems wants to be talked to. So you could see it flushed it out even way more for me with more information. So this is a really useful way to rewrite these instructions. So if I say how to use Google Gemini, this gives me other options. Unlock Gemini, your AI guide, getting started with Google Gemini. So it gives you more options here. And then I could build on them from here. And I could just save it. Now, anytime I need a better title, I could come over here and then I could start a chat with this gem. And right here, I'm inside of that gem. And then I could talk to that gem here. Now I have a different video all about Google Gems, so I'm gonna go deeper here, but these are very, very useful. And as I mentioned, if you explore gems, there are some pre-made ones here by Google that are useful, like a learning coach and an editor here to help you fix grammars and things like that. Again, Gemini can do these things, but this will have a more refined set of instructions, examples, and knowledge base. Okay, now we're gonna jump into Google AI Pro. This is the paid upgrade, and it will unlock all the paid features of Gemini under this plan. So I'll start here with the very first one. If you press the model dropdown, the very first option that you'll see is reasoning, math, and code with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now, as I'm recording this, this is a new large language model behind the scene that is a whole lot better than the Flash version. And right now, it's actually one of the very, very best models available across all the different platforms that offer these type of AI tools. Now, the free version, we did see this also, but it is very, very limited. If you have the free version, after a few prompts, you're gonna run out of credit. And the whole point of using Pro is usually if you're doing this for work, you do want the most powerful model behind the scenes to be working for you. Now, here's a program to basically create a virtual ecosystem with different species. And we've created a ecosystem here that's visually interesting. And I could go ahead and start here and see what ends up happening to the trees after a while. Okay, and then I could reset these numbers here and try it again. So these kind of simulations, any type of math, any type of coding, reasoning, great with this 2.5 Pro. Now, the next big upgrade that you get with Gemini Pro is right here, which is the context window. So you could get up to 2 million token context window, which allows you to upload massive documents in just one go. For example, you can upload a 1,500 page book for this to analyze with this type of context window. And again, with the paid upgrade, you will unlock this one with much more usage. The free one is gonna give you like 2 or 3 different prompts before it runs out of credit. Now, just to give you an example, I just uploaded War and Peace. The entire 1,500 or so page ebook that I had downloaded before, and I just uploaded and asked for a 1-paragraph summary from it. And here's my 1-paragraph answer. And if I click on sources, these are all the different points where it got that from that doc. And if I want to, I could ask it a specific question. It does a pretty good job finding things maybe on page like 700. And it's been pretty accurate in my testing for the most part. And by the way, with the Pro model and with the paid upgrade, you will also be able to import code if you want to use the Pro model for coding. This is a great way to import code. You can see now you have 3 different ways to upload things to it. And this one is only available with the paid upgrade. And by the way, if you go to apps here, you will have a new app that is now unlocked for creating projects and connecting this to GitHub. So this could import your code from a public repository. So this is for developers, but you also have the previous apps that we had in the free version available too. Okay, the next thing you'll see inside of the Pro version is something called scheduled actions, and you could access that inside of your settings too. Now you could tell Gemini something to do in an upcoming date and time, and it will do that for you, and they will appear over here. And it's really easy to use. Just open a chat. So for example, I said every day at 8 a.m. pull the stock price for Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla, and it will kind of create the schedule for me, and it's running right now. Okay, so if I want to edit that, I could edit that and change my schedule at any time. And if I go to the schedule setting under scheduled actions, I could see that right now. So this is a useful way for getting the news every day, or maybe figuring out what to do that's fun around you. You could schedule that every single week, or doing something like this for stock price, weather, all kinds of different things could be scheduled with Gemini. Now, we already talked about deep research, but deep research with the free plan is extremely limited, just like the Pro model is. So if you do want to upgrade, this is a good reason to upgrade, because you get a lot more usage out of deep research, you get a lot more usage out of the Pro option, and you get more usage out of creating images. Pretty much everything just gets a higher limit. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the video model, and you could generate with Veo 2 or Veo 3. Now the Veo 3 is going to get really unlocked with the $250 plan. That's the main reason people upgrade, because video generation is very, very expensive. It's expensive for us, it's expensive for these companies, so they charge quite a lot for them, right? So Veo 3 right now is one of the top tier text to video models available, and it's the only one right now where they could talk to. Your characters could actually talk, looks really natural. Okay, let's go ahead and try a prompt here for something that is for commercial applications. I'm gonna try to create a perfume bottle here, and it's going to be in a forest setting with a sun ray hitting the back of it. And you could also upload an image if you have an image as a starting point. Right now, I'll just do text to video, and let's go ahead and send this out. Okay, let's see what we got here. It did follow my directions here, even in the image with the sun rays and things like that. It does spell things right. Okay, that's pretty good. I think the bottle could be better, but I could describe that as far as the shape of the bottle. I didn't really give it much of any definition of the bottle here, but sometimes with things like this, it makes sense to upload your own product image and then have it animate that, or just generate using the image one here and then use that, then turn it into a video. Okay, here's a different one. This is from kind of a fantasy movie. So we have a commercial and a movie example. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I have a ton of different examples of Veo 3, and there's a ton of good videos. I'll link one from my partner from Futurepedia. He really covered Veo 3 super well. So you could go ahead and watch that if you want to dive into Veo 3 a little bit more. Now, the next upgrade you get with the paid version is you get your NotebookLM account upgraded as well. This all comes in under the same subscription. So I haven't talked much about NotebookLM, but with NotebookLM, you could create individual notebooks for a specific topic using all kinds of different sources. So PDFs, anything from Google Doc, any website or YouTube links, copy text. But when you do upgrade, you actually get up to 300 different sources for every notebook. By default, with the free version, you get 50. Now you get 300, and you get a lot more usage. And with your notebooks now, when they do get upgraded, you get access to the best models available. You get all kinds of different things too. You get analytics. You just get a better NotebookLM experience. This is included with the Gemini upgrade. Now, inside of your Google search, when you upgrade, you also get more access to this option called AI mode. So in the regular Google search, you could now use AI, and it looks a lot more like the Gemini experience, except I'm on google.com right now, and I'm just on this tab called AI mode instead of the old school tab that's just a regular Google, right? So if I send out a prompt over here, you could see it's a whole different experience. And with the paid upgrade, it will use the better model in the background, Gemini 2.5 Pro right now. And I think I prefer this experience these days a lot more. So I use Perplexity for search a lot more, even ChatGPT. But now you have this AI mode now powered by Gemini Pro that is included in your paid upgrade. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is with the paid upgrade, you get access to a new platform called Whisk. And with Whisk, you could do a lot of cool things. So you could start with generating an image, but then you could take that subject, add it to a scene, and then style it. So it just gives you a much better user experience for generating images here. And Whisk, again, I saved it for the paid option because with the paid option, you actually get usage that makes sense. With the free option, you don't get much usage here. And with this one, you have a lot of different things like an easy way to change your aspect ratio. So 16:9 is going to make sense for YouTube type of thing. So this is going to go ahead and generate something from a text prompt for us. And then if we want to bring any of this to life here, we have this animate option. So if we click that, that is going to let us bring this to life. Slowly rotate. I could type that in as a prompt. And we got ourselves a little video here, and it's slowly rotating what we created with the image platform. And I have 99 more generations left. So this is a great platform that you get more access to. And you also get access to Flow. So this is for the Veo video generation. This is more for filmmaking. And with this one, you get a couple of different models. So you get the Veo 3, the fast model. You get the old Veo 2 models. You get the quality one. You could generate things with and without audio. And this is, again, you're going to get a lot more credit using this platform here. You have text to video. You have frame to video. Very, very useful tool if you are going to be generating videos, and Veo 3 is the tool that you prefer to use. And when you do upgrade, you get Gemini inside of other apps like Gmail and Sheets and Docs. So here it is inside of a blank document. You'll get these options right over here. So generate a document. It's going to let you simply type in a text prompt over here. You could also type in the @ sign to include any type of file from your Google Drive. And in just a couple of seconds, it created this entire article for me right inside of Google Docs. So I don't have to go back and forth between Gemini, copy and paste, export. Nothing is included right here. And you'll see this option right here where you could ask Gemini any questions and it will help you refine things, edit things. And even those gems that are created here, I could use these in combination with my Google Doc. And if you decide to get Gemini AI Ultra, this $250 plan that they're running a promotion on right now, you basically get more usage out of everything. One of the main reasons people upgrade is the Veo 3 usage. You get that inside of apps like Flow, a lot more usage out of that. And this plan does come with a 30 terabyte storage. And I have one last resource for you. We have a platform called Skill Leap where we create new AI courses every single month. So every time a new platform comes out and it's useful, we do cover it in far more detail than videos I create here on YouTube. They're linear, they have downloadable resources, and it's just not me teaching there. We have now 7 different instructors. We have Kevin from Futurepedia teaching video creation using platforms like Veo 3. We have Volo that teaches AI coding. We have Andrew covering all kinds of different courses appropriate for business owners. And everything is under one simple subscription. There's a free trial. I like to make sure people could try it totally risk-free, make sure it's a good fit for them. And it's a great way to stay up to date with AI because I could go much deeper into every single topic with a complete course in linear structure than I could cover on YouTube. I think you'll find it helpful. I'll put a link in the description to that as well. Thanks so much for watching this video. I also created a similar video for ChatGPT. Everything that ChatGPT could do, you could watch that here too.